Hello guys, in this video we're going to look at functions with the return type void. So we're going to look at 3 examples. As you can see, I already have my code written down, and this here is a simple function which just it takes in the parameter here. It takes in a name type, a string type, which is a name. If the name is Eminem, it will print this out. Basically, as it will show it as an alert. If the name is Central C, it will show this. Then going forth to Snoop Dogg, Polo G, RD. Yeah, so depending on whatever name I choose, and then if I don't choose a name that's here, so as you can see, if name equals to, if whatever I put here is equals to this, then it will print this. If whatever I put here is equals to this, but if whatever I put here is not here, then it will print out you chose an unknown name. So we don't have a song for you, basically. So as you can see, this is a void. It has a return type void. It doesn't return anything. Our identifier or function name is artists, and then we are taking in a parameter here, and then this is the first curly bracket, and this is the closing. As you can see, this here is the body of my function. So since we already have this down, we need to call our function. How do you call our function? This is how we call our function. As you can see, remember, it needs to take in a parameter, a string parameter, name. So as you can see, I am basically the one that's going to keep on putting in whatever it is, just to test if it is working. So we already have a variable called name, identifier called name. We have the type string, and I equated that to Central C. It should print out Central C is my favorite artist, and the song that I love the most is Khabib. Okay, let us F7 this just to compile it, and then F4. So this one here is called, let's go back to the thing quickly. It's called first EA. So let's go back there, and then first EA, put this on. Okay, as you can see, it shows us what? Central C is my favorite artist. Not my favorite artist. Central C is my favorite artist, yes, and the song that I love the most is Khabib. So yes, guys, let us go back there, and then if I change this to Eminem, Eminem, it should show us that Eminem is our favorite artist. It already there is. Eminem is my favorite artist, and the song that I love the most is Stan. But now, how about if we put Eminem, but then again the E in small letter? What happens? You chose an unknown name, so we don't have a song for you. Yes, guys, as you can see, this here we specified, we used a capital E here, and here we're using a small e. So if I put my own name, we know that there is no Sydney in one of these conditions here in our if statement. There is no Sydney, there's only Eminem, Central C, Snoop Dogg, Polo G, and RD. So if I compile this, it is executed, and it says again, you chose an unknown name, so we don't have a song for you. So yes, guys, that is how this one works. Now we're going to look at our next example. Let me just comment this again. Just comment this out again so that we can look at our second example. So yes, our second example is we are going to be basically calculating the spread of the current market. Yeah, the spread of the current market. So as you can see, again, it's a void type, void return type, and the name of the function is spread calculator, and it takes in 2 parameters. You see, it takes in a double for ask and a double for bid. We know that we have to use doubles for our ask price and our bid price. If you watched the the data type video, you should know this. Yes, so it is just basic. We are basically taking in the ask price, and we're taking in the bid price, and then we do our calculation in here. So we are saying that our answer, which is of type double, of course, is equals to the ask minus the bid, and then this needs to be printed out. So it's going to print out the difference between the ask price and the bid price is answer. Now guys, since we take in double ask and double bid, when we call our function, we need to make sure we give it the parameters of ask and double. So let us go to our onInit function. So this is where I called out my function. As you can see, this is the first part of the ask. As you can see here, it says double ask. So this is the first part. Symbol info double takes in, as you can see, this is basically a function. It also takes in a parameter, and then with this function here, we can take in the ask price of any symbol, and then again symbol info double, again we can take in the bid price of any symbol. So that's how we call our function. And then if we press F7 for compile, we go to our MetaTrader. As you can see, it says the difference between the ask price and the bid price is 0,0209999, going further and further. So if we want to view this to see if it is actually true, as you can see here, let me just do this. This is EJ, Euro JPY. Okay, 20, it is fluctuating. As you can see, this here is the raw calculation, but as you can see here, you just have to multiply by a certain digit for it to be a proper whole number. So yes guys, let us look at the next example. Let me close this, go back to my editor, and then let me comment this out as well. Comment this out and comment this out as well. Let us look at our final example. So with our third function, we are going to also calculate this the spread, but we are not going to take in any parameters. So you see, this is the same thing, but we are not taking in any parameters. So basically, we are going to do everything in here. You see, the previous one, we took in parameters and did our calculations where we just did our calculation here, but we took in parameters for ask and bid using these here. But now in this case, we're not taking in any parameters. We are doing all our calculations inside here. As you can see, we named our variables, and then we equated the ask with the, again, symbol info double, looking at this, looking at a specific symbol. Whichever symbol is attached, we attach our EA to, it's going to be here, and then it is going to take the ask price of this symbol, and then the same for the bid, you see, and then our calculation is done, and then we return, or this here is displayed alert. The alert is displayed, and it's going to say the spread is spread, whatever this here is. So guys, I hope you understand this. We are going to, and when I call my function, I just type the name of the function with the parentheses. So as you can see here, this is where I called my function. It does not take in any parameters. If we have to type something in, it's going to give us an error because our function does not take in any parameter. But now if we compile this again with F7, it runs, and then it says the spread is 0,021, and if we look at EJ, where is EJ 21? As you can see, 0.021 again. So I hope you guys understand this here. I hope you guys understand this. So that is basically it for this video. We just had to look at the functions that have the return type void. In the next video, we're going to have a look at functions that actually have proper return types of different data types, maybe of string, of Boolean. So basically, yeah, our functions can have any return type, different return types. So yes guys, I will see you in the next video.